Welcome to the Time to Go Wild radio show on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. Of course, we are live across the world on hcr93fm.com/listen and tune in. If you want to drop us a shout, it's studio at hcr93fm.com or radio at widneswild.co.uk. You can drop us a text to 60066, start your message with HCR, or you can use 07716672874. And if you want to give us a shout on our social media, it's Facebook or twitter.com/TTGW radio. Been a busy weekend. Hope you're ready. Let's do it again. It's time to go wild. Very warm welcome to the Time to Go Wild radio show, and for a change I thought I'd do the intro off the old top of my head.
Live.
Yes, I know, normally I don't do it live, I'm a bit of a cheat that way, but evening all, evening Andy, welcome.
Evening all, it's Andy here again.
Well, what a weekend.
Quite good, altogether.
Yes, very, very lively in more ways than one.
Certainly, some of the other teams are doing quite well as well.
Yes, Saturday was a very, very fun-packed game, shall we say?
Yes, a little one-sided, I thought. You know, we wiped the floor with them.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm talking about the Widnes Wild ones, the fans.
Oh, the fans.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll give you that one. It was a little bit on the one-sided from the fan base, but the game itself, we'll talk about that in a little while, because it was quite different from the last time we played Altrincham.
It was definitely harder.
Oh, much harder. But I think we shall start things off with the scores. Time for the weekly roundup of results across ice hockey in the leagues we're interested in. Starting in the Elite Ice Hockey League on Wednesday, Guildford Flames 5, Milton Keynes Lightning 1, Manchester Storm 3, Dundee Stars 2, Nottingham Panthers 1, Coventry Blaze 3, Sheffield Steelers 1, Glasgow Clan 6. Moving to Friday, Belfast Giants 4, Cardiff Devils 2. On Saturday, Belfast Giants 2, Cardiff Devils 1 after overtime. Milton Keynes Lightning 4, Manchester Storm 3. Nottingham Panthers 6, Glasgow Clan 3. Sheffield Steelers 4, Coventry Blaze 5. Fife Flyers 4, Dundee Stars 3. Moving to Sunday, Coventry Blaze 2, Fife Flyers 3. Manchester Storm 5, Sheffield Steelers 4. Guildford Flames 4, Glasgow Clan 2. In the EIHA Women's Premier League on Saturday, Bracknell Firebees 0, Nottingham Vipers 9. EIHA Under-13s North 3 action from Sunday, Widnes 5, Deeside 7. Moving to NIHL Division 1 North Morley for Thursday, Hull Pirates 13, Sheffield Steel Dogs 2. To Saturday, Billingham Stars 2, Sheffield Steel Dogs 8. Solway Sharks 4, Hull Pirates 10. Telford Tigers D1 10, Blackburn Hawks D1 2. Sutton Sting 3, Whitley Warriors 11. On Sunday, Blackburn Hawks D1 3, Billingham Stars 0, Sheffield Steel Dogs 7, Sutton Sting 0, Hull Pirates 9, Solway Sharks 5, Nottingham Lions 1, Telford Tigers D1 17. Moving to NIHL Division 2 North Laidler on Saturday. Hull Jets versus the Sheffield Senators was abandoned at the end of the first period with the score at 3-1 to the Hull Jets. Blackburn Hawks D2 1, Coventry NIHL Blaze 7, Altrincham Aces 2, Widnes Wild 6. And on Sunday, Dragons 5, Sheffield Senators 4 after overtime, and Telford Tigers D2 6, Blackburn Hawks D2 2. And that's a roundup of the scores across the Elite League and NIHL and other EIHA leagues for the last week. Join us next week for more.
I've caught up with assistant and bench coach Mark Gillingham after the Wildwood taking on Altrincham Aces at Altrincham Ice. Well, interesting game in the end.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. We started slowly tonight. It was a bit of a fraught beginning. We looked a little bit nervous, and it's probably going to be a little bit like that while we're trying to get to that league title. But once we settled in and we simplified our game a little bit, I thought we looked pretty comfortable. Really sort of short burst of goals that separated us from the Aces tonight, and that saw us home in the end.
I mean, there's a couple of times where the Aces were trying to sort of, get the fast pace through to the game and get a high guy in and get a few breaks on.
Yeah, there's a lot of pace in that team. Pavlicek's probably the quickest guy in the league. He's got some real wheels, so if he gets in around the back of your D, it's difficult. So yeah, once we'd figured that out and we dropped a little bit deeper, we managed to deal with it a little bit better and cut that threat out, and it meant we could open up a little bit more going forward. So that's when we sort of turned it around a little bit, and a couple of real momentum shifts as well. Matt Croyle made a couple of massive saves when it was tied at 2 to turn that one around for us and give us some momentum to come back the other way. So yeah, it was a really tough start, and we did well to get some points out of it.
And in the usual spirit of a Wild v Aces game, a bit of fisticuffs going on as well.
Yeah, you're always going to get that. It's a local derby, so that's why we can't really rest on these games towards the end of the season. Even though Altrincham and D-side aren't currently in the playoff places, you're always going to get those difficult situations because the derby games. So we've got to make sure that we perform the way that we can do as well as we can, as often as we can against those teams, and put on a professional show.
Well, next week it's Hull at home and then Altrincham at home are the next sort of two big fixtures, but Hull at home one game at a time, and it is a big game.
Yeah, we are saying one game at a time. I know Hull have had some problems today with their game because of the ice issues there in Hull, so they're still playing catch up a little bit on their fixtures, and they'll know what they've got to do when they come to us. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game. We know that they're a good side. They're not in the position they're in for no reason. We've lost to them this season. Other than Telford, they're the only other team we've lost to. So we've got to make sure we're at our best next week. When they come to us, I don't think they enjoy it too much. I know, speaking to their coaching staff, they don't enjoy coming to Widnes. So hopefully, psychologically, we've got an edge going into it in the first place, and hopefully we'll be able to cover that and make sure we get the win next week.
Well, I'll let you get off, get rested and get ready for next week. So thanks for joining me.
Brilliant. Cheers, Colin.
Well, yes, it's good catching Mark at the end of the game. It was very lively. It was fast and furious.
Couldn't fault what he said, could you?
No, I mean, the first period was really fast and furious.
Oh, yes, it was.
From the spectators' side of things, you were there, all in good voice.
Yes.
How would you say it looked for the first period from you?
As you said, very nervous, and I must admit the first 3 minutes it was that sort of like, oh no, what we're doing. We've just suffered a loss, and now we've got another one coming up by the looks of it. But I think you got the heads down and worked it right.
Yeah, I mean, Altrincham came out firing
on all guns,
checking, back checking, getting in the zone, dominating the zone, to be honest, for major portions of the first.
And some of our passing was abysmal again. Again, it might be getting used to the size of the ice.
Yeah, the pace of the ice. And I think, to be honest, the way in which Altrincham were playing, they came with a very aggressive game plan, and they worked it really, really well in the first period, and it was paying. It was very tight. Was it 2-1 end of the first? Yep, 2-1 to the Wild at the end of the first. And when I look at the scoring, it took 10 minutes before the first goal went in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was just end-to-end stuff, but it was mainly Altrincham coming at us, and we got the goals though.
But
I was really impressed with them. They didn't lose the cool
until the third.
Well, that was Altrincham lost the cool. I think we just went along with it. But
yeah, we did keep our heads pretty well. Yeah. There were a couple of
afternoon, Lee, or good evening.
There were a couple of interesting comments people were saying after the game, and actually there's a bit of a humorous moment on the highlights which went up yesterday just around lunchtime. and there's one of Mike Maher's goals goes in, and Joe Greaves comes straight through the slot, and then sort of stops and then taps Mike on the head.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it was one of those.
He doesn't
comedy
get many,
moments.
but when he gets them, doesn't he? He got 2.
His spinorama was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, classic.
That was very, very nice. But yeah, it was a game full of drama, and in the third period, the big fight when poor Jakubajek got put into the boards. It definitely.
Well, he used to play for them, so there's going to be that extra little bit of needle there. You know what I mean? You've got Mikey Gilbert's brother and Tony Gilbert, his mum's there, selling the 50-50 tickets. So
I do feel it for Tony. I mean, she feels it with the Wild Aces games these days because she is for Mikey, but she wants the Aces to win.
Yeah.
But yes, after the events of I'll say the defeat to Telford last week, it was nice to get the W returned back after that.
And all in all, I know many people don't talk about them in a positive way, but I thought the ref did quite well.
Yeah, yes.
They missed one shout though. It was a tripping call. It was Jill Gillingham on Dippy.
Oh, on the bench.
Yeah, when he came out, she tripped him. I saw that clear as anything.
Dear.
Evening, Jill.
I don't know. She tries. She tries her best.
I know.
Bless her. But yeah, it's also been an interesting week in other games.
It definitely has.
Regarding penalty minutes. First, we'll just do a quick. I mean, it's still in the unknown. We don't know the outcome yet. Of course, in the scores I mentioned about Hull Jets v Sheffield Senators, which was abandoned at the end of the first period due to technicalities with the ice surface. So all we know is exactly the same as everyone out there knows, is to keep an eye on the IHA releases and the
obviously
respective
Twitter.
clubs, be it Twitter, Facebook and the website, to find out what the outcome of that is, because at the moment it puts the league at the moment, seeing that the points aren't in, with Hull still with a potential maximum of 49 points and Sheffield with a maximum of 43 points.
And also, they might do what they did with Widnes last season over the D-side fixtures and wait till the end of the season before you award them.
Yeah.
So if Hull do it on their own merit or Sheffield do it on their own merit, that's fair enough. But if they're very close together at the end of the season, then that's when they've got to make those decisions.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. There's a couple of other outstanding fixtures that need to be put into the schedule as well. But at the moment, I want to do a little. There are now 3 teams who can no longer qualify for the playoffs, and the Altrincham Aces fell into that bracket this weekend. Maximum points of 32 for D-side and Altrincham, which puts them below Bradford's current points total of 33.
Yeah.
So at the moment, the Coventry NIHL Blaze can still scrape in with a potential max of 35.
Yeah, you're going to have to massacre the other teams, though, aren't you?
Yeah. But otherwise, in terms of the title race, it is definitely a 3-horse race at the moment. But
well, 2 now, isn't it?
potentially 2. Telford can sneak it, but
Yeah, Hull can't though.
Hull can. If Telford choke, Hull can still do it.
Yeah, but we're going to need 1 point to beat them.
Yeah. But as it stands, technically it's a 3-horse race.
Well,
more than likely a 2,
yes.
but anything can happen.
Go on, I'll
This
give
is
it
hockey.
to you then. I'll give it to you.
But this is hockey and anything is possible.
Yeah.
But of course, this weekend, big fixture at Planet Ice Widnes, of course.
Hold on. No, I'm right. Hull Jets last night got beat by D-side. And it's not on because it was an overtime win.
No,
Wasn't it?
it was Sheffield Senators.
Who did Hull get beat by?
They didn't play last night.
Didn't they?
No, it was Dragons against Sheffield Senators, 5-4 in overtime.
Well, I'm dreaming something now.
Ah, yes. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure on that one.
Oh,
No, it was the Senators. It was a 5-4. It was, and we'll talk about that game a little later on.
There's some penalties in that one as well.
Yes, it could play interesting towards the end of the season, depending upon how they go. But while I'm while we're talking about recent games, it is time to give a shout out to our Wild Academy under-13s, and they can hold their heads high. They had a cracking game last night.
I missed it. We were doing some gardening and stuff like that, and it just totally went out of our heads. And before we knew it, I saw the score come up on Twitter. Thanks, Colin. So, I missed it.
Sorry, but I did announce it on the fixtures last week.
Well, no, we knew it was on. It was just that it went out of our mind.
Yeah.
You know, should put it in the diary.
Yeah, it was a corking game. First goal was to the Wild Academy at 56 seconds, and actually we had a hat trick for Adam Vayeshi. A cracking hat trick for him.
Glad
2
you said
assists for Nick Highcock. Oh, sorry, 3 assists. Sorry, it was 3 assists for Nick Highcock. So a hat trick of assists for him. Assists for also Harry Gilbert and Jared Knowles, and a goal for Cody Ogden as well. And it was end-to-end stuff all game, but it was just a shame, ran out a bit of steam. They were fighting to get that equaliser, and 42-45, a short-handed goal against, took it to 7-5 in favour of Deeside. But it was a really, really well played game, and everyone had a good time, and it was a pleasure to watch. It really was. These kids are going out there and they're giving their all. They don't stop. It's brilliant to watch them, and we do have some more junior fixtures coming up.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now. Yeah.
So yes, get your pens and paper ready. We do have some more junior games, and they are worth coming along and seeing the kids. And you're seeing a lot of really good talent out there.
Up and coming stars, we hope.
We hope, yes, and of course you're seeing them from different teams. So it's not just from the Wild. You're getting to see teams from Nottingham. You're getting to see teams from Deeside, teams from Blackburn. It is good to see them from across the country.
Well, it is, because they're not playing themselves all the time, are they? A lot of times, you're just playing against your teammates.
Yeah, I mean, I know some of the junior clubs have internal scrimmages and little internal competitions, but there's nothing like playing against players that you technically don't know, in a manner of speaking. Well,
that's it. That's exactly it. You can have somebody who's very, very good, and then he sees a big brute of a defence man. He thinks, I'm probably not going to try and go around him. So, in effect, he could.
And the fun one is when these big brutey defencemen start coming up against him, going, I'm gonna get you, and the little guy goes ding ding. Like, where did he go? Where did he go?
Yeah.
Still. And if you've got any comments about this weekend's games, drop us through. Easiest way is probably to text either to 60066, start your message with HCR so they come up on the computer, or you can drop them through to 07716 672 874. I think we'll have a little break for some music, shall we, Andrew?
Yes, we'll have a lie down.
And a lie down, or perhaps we should just learn to fly?
Learn to fly is a good one. Pink Floyd coming up, I think.
Here we go. Okay, we're just going to give you that little refresher. Don't forget to check out all of the YKK Widnes Wild social media outlets and news outlets, of course. Main details on widneswild.co.uk for the website. Facebook or twitter.com/WidnesWild. Or if you put TTGW Radio, one is for the radio show and one's for the club. I'll let you figure out which one is which. If you want our Instagram, it's instagram.com/WidnesWildOfficial. If you want to contact the show, it's radio@widneswild.co.uk. And if you want to send us messages via text during the week, you can use 07716 672 874. Or if you want to text while we're on air, you can also use 60066, starting your message with HCR. And of course, we want to be, thanking our very, very vital and valuable and loved sponsors. We have our headline sponsor, YKK. We have Sprakes & Son of Widnes, DMH Tyres, Ruxton Electrical, CL Woodworking, Nails by Alicia, who are on our goals, and our chosen charity of the Halton Haven Hospice. So, Andy, what else is coming up?
Right, here's the fixtures. 2nd of March, that's Saturday, Deeside under-13s are at home to the Widnes Wild under-13s. That's a 16:45 face-off. Sunday the 3rd of March, it's the Solway Shark Ladies versus Widnes Wild Women. Obviously Solway at home. And face-off for that is 5 o'clock. Then also on Sunday the 3rd of March, as if you didn't know, it's Widnes Wilder home to the Hull Jets, and face-off as usual is 17:30. Going on to the next weekend, the Saturday the 9th of March, Widnes are taking part in the cross-ice competition, the under-9s, and that's going to be held in Deeside at 16:45. Also the same day, Saturday the 9th, Widnes under-13s will be hosting Nottingham under-13s, and the face-off for that is at 10 to 7 in the evening. Sunday the 10th of March, Widnes Wild Women are at home to the MK Falcons. The face-off for that is 5:30. And then Saturday the 16th of March, because we don't have a game that weekend, the Wild. Saturday the 16th of March, Widnes under-9s cross-ice team. We're playing, competition, are playing in Telford. And that's at 4:20 in the afternoon. Also the same day, Widnes under-13s are at home versus Grimsby. And again, the face-off at that is 10 to 7 in the evening. And then finally, for this section, Sunday the 17th of March, as if you didn't know, Widnes Wild are at home to the Aces again, and face-off, as usual, 17:30.
Of course, we have the biggie to make sure you get your tickets for, don't we, Andy, in April?
Yep, we've got the Final Four weekend coming up. That's Coventry the 13th and 14th of April. That includes the Division 2 North and Division 2 South league winners. So basically the North and South Division 2 winners play each other to get the national one. The NHL North playoff weekend is Planet Ice. That's the 21st of April, the weekend after. And the NHL 2 playoff weekend against Bracknell. Yeah. So that's everything. That's the southern playoffs is in Bracknell. We've got Widnes. We've got the northern section. And that's it from all I can see here. But on Free Sports, Thursday the 14th... Oh, no, that's gone. That's gone. Why haven't you crossed that out, Colin?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should have crossed that out.
But actually, there is some action coming on Free Sports. The GB Women's up in Dumfries was getting televised on Free Sports. So check out Free Sports
times,
pages and social media outlets. I know there's been tweets and Facebook postings put out about this, and I think I haven't seen it on the AHA website as such, but I think it's been on Twitter. So check out those details. Well, so yes, there's plenty of hockey action coming your way.
There's quite a lot there, isn't there?
Yes, well,
spot for choice.
The reason I'm playing this little bed is because we were talking while the song was on about teams who are in the running for the D2 South title. And
very close.
If you think things are a little tight at the top of the D2 North, you can barely get a piece of ultra-thin rice paper between the top four in this league, can't you, in D2 South?
Well, if they all win the games, 3 will be on 42 points and 1 will be on 40. That's how close it is.
So, you've got Oxford and Solent on 21 games, 38 points. Chelmsford on 23 and 40 points. And Slough Jets on 23 games and 42 points. And it's going to be an interesting run out to see who wins that title. And it's a big league with 15 teams.
Yeah. There's a divide in that, though, isn't it? If you look from 5th downwards.
Very much so,
the 10 points adrift.
It is a difficult one because I know when the league's structures had to be modified when the English Premier League became no more, there was the way in which the D1 leagues, particularly in the south, restructured. It became a bit tricky for some of the teams because when you've got the top 4 teams in D1 South are all big ex-EPL clubs in Swindon Wildcats, Peterborough Phantoms, Basingstoke Bison and the Bracknell Bees. They are 4 teams that were very, very strong teams in whichever leagues they've played in, be it the English Premier League, the British National League, or even the Elite League or the Ice Hockey Super League, because both Basingstoke and Bracknell at one point in their history were both in the Super League. Yep. Basingstoke were in the Elite League. Peterborough when they were the Pirates in the British National League. Swindon, I'm not sure if they were in the British National League. But they've been big
Show
in
somebody
the
will tell us.
EPL. I'm trying to scratch my brain about Swindon. I know they were in the early part of the BNL days, but not when I was watching actually in the BNL as such. But those 4 teams were big teams. But at the moment, it looks like Swindon's pretty much looking like the title winners for the D1 South. They're a good way clear at the moment in that league. But thing is, for D2 North, looking at the way this league table is panning out, title's still in the hand of the YKK Wild, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
It's in our hands.
It's 3 points, isn't it?
3 points from the next 4 games.
4 games. So, really, when do we want to win it? Do you know what? I'd hate to lose against Hull and then win against Altrincham, and then we could win it against D-side away. I'd rather win it at home, lads. So do your best against Hull.
I don't doubt that. I mean, I can say from the heart, I know that the Hull Jets will come to Widnes and they will be going for it. They will be
of course they will.
For it.
They all want to drag us down now, don't they?
Well,
after that winning session, it's the whole thing. Like it's winning their league is beating Widnes.
Well, the thing is, as well, the one thing that the teams have got to decide, what they're going to be fighting for.
Fighting literally.
Well, in a manner of speaking, in terms of league position, it's because there's the playoff competition at the end of the season. You want the home team position when you go into that game. So when you play your semi-final, you want the last line change.
Which is very confusing for me on the clock.
How come?
Because when the home team, like in the playoffs last year, the home team's the away team and the away team's the home team, and it's just...
Well, at least we wore black.
Doesn't help me, does it? I'm colourblind.
Aww.
Yeah, it came like a bolt out of the orange, it did.
Oh dear, not a bolt out the brown.
No, not out of the orange.
But yeah, it can get quite confusing when your team switch ends. Because hang on a minute, I mean it's all right when you're used to them starting, but when they're playing A in black and B, sometimes you've played in the away strip in the home end.
No, Colin, it's just confusing. I always think when Widnes score, that's a home.
Yeah,
but when we were playing as the away team,
we do. It's wonders of hockey, You've got to go for it at times. But it is quite tight though. I mean, the big one I think is going to be the fight for 4th place, and based on the current positioning, Sheffield and Bradford. Yeah. So there's.
I feel sorry for Sheffield because that game that was called off. That is their.
Yeah.
It's hanging there by that, isn't it? But then again, if they win the games in hand, and there's some tough games coming up for both of them.
Yeah.
The Bradford Bulls and Sheffield.
Yeah, it's...
And it's Sheffield who got the best run in on paper, but as we all know, we don't play hockey on paper.
Oh, we definitely do not play hockey on paper. That I can definitely say. Oh, if we played hockey on paper, crumbs. The number of times my team in the past would have walked the league and it didn't. Yeah. But hey, you have to enjoy it. But
Colin's just pulled a new screen up now. This should be interesting.
Oh no, we'll talk about the screen I've got up in a couple of minutes' time after the next song because yes, I have to play a specific bed for that one. But I mean, even some of the games in the Elite League this week have been quite surprising. You had a 6-1 win for the Glasgow Clan against the Sheffield Steelers on Wednesday. And then the Steelers came back with a 4-3 win against Coventry. So there's a swings and roundabouts there. I think a big one is the fact that they had the Cardiff Devils having a double head in Belfast on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
It is one of the trickier road trips of the Elite League, and it is a hard one, particularly if you've got to play in Belfast on the Saturday and then home on the Sunday. And I've known teams have to do that a lot, and it is very, very tricky to get back. And
you get jet lag, wouldn't you?
It's either travel, it's just bus legs.
Jet lag.
Well, before we get ready for the next talky bit, we shall have another break for a song. And one of our wild ones had a birthday recently, didn't she?
She did. Good old Jen.
So I know she
Jen.
likes. I think she likes this band a little bit.
Oh, Nickelback. By any
Yeah.
chance. Is it? You sure?
I think it
Not
might
the
be.
Monkeys.
Maybe it's the Monkeys.
Yeah.
Jen, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nickelback, the one you're with.
Sorry, Jen. Sorry.
Certain oddities get spoken when you got the music on, and
Especially by me.
yeah, we're going to have a slight aside to hockey for a moment because phobias have been mentioned.
It might not have be aside from hockey, because if there's a duck watching you,
Yeah,
you can have a phobia of that, and it's called anatidaphobia.
there you
And that's
go.
the fear of a duck watching you.
Yeah, it's true.
Not attacking you, not biting you, just watching you. So puck a duck.
And a message from Jen saying thank you. So yes, there you go. Jen says thank you for the song and for the fact it's good, young Jen.
Should make this a regular thing, what people are frightened of. Being called old.
I know what I'm frightened of when I'm at a hockey match. Getting struck on the head by a puck.
Yeah.
And believe me, I got hit on the head by one during warm-up, not during a game. I've nearly been hit by one during a game. It went whistling past my ear while I was filming.
Yeah. Come on, lads. First one to do it. That's a five.
No. This was in Hull Arena, and normally they didn't come anywhere near the little crow's nest in Hull. But no, one went whistling past my ear. And the annoying thing was, where the puck landed, I wasn't able to claim it.
No? Oh.
No, someone else claimed it and put a tweet up saying, "Look, this puck nearly hit me." I went, "Really?" It nearly wiped me and the video camera out. But enough of that. We have mentioned about a game, and it definitely requires this little piece of music being played. The reason I'm playing the good, the bad and the ugly is because I was looking down the game sheets from the weekend and one game caught my eye. And the irony is, it turned out to be the Dragons against the Sheffield Senators game from Sunday. And I was just flicking through, looking up, when it finished, I was looking for the score, and it was a bit late coming up because it had gone to overtime. And then,
Shots were even.
yeah. And then I saw the penalty minutes. And I saw one set of penalty minutes that was like, oh. And then when I saw how the penalty minutes had been amassed, I was like, eek. And the penalty minutes were all attributed to one player. And the penalties read as such, depending upon how you interpret it from the rulebook: 2 minutes for boarding with a game misconduct, so a 2 + 10, plus 10 for abuse, plus match for obscene gestures, subsequently amassing one player in one go 47 minutes of penalties. 47 minutes of penalties.
Yes, just at the same incident.
Yeah.
Not separate incidents, all on the same.
Yes. So, yeah, that doesn't happen that often, but it's not the only big penalty. I suppose I could say it was Chris Jones.
Yeah.
47 minutes.
Yeah. 61 in the whole game altogether.
Yeah. 47 of which were to one player. It's like, yike. The rest of the game was actually very mild-mannered. 2, 4, 6, it was very even apart from this one big lump of penalties. But there's another one, and there was a cup game between the Bracknell Bees and the Peterborough Phantoms, NIHL South Cup semi-final on the 20th of February. And a total of 198 penalty minutes were amassed at 60 minutes. It's like 198 minutes of penalties in one go.
3 hours, 18 minutes.
So the article reads thus: Bracknell's Brendan Bird and Joe Bird received match penalties for fighting. Each pair is suspended for 4 games starting tonight. Well, this is when the article was released on the 24th of February. And they will also miss games on the 3rd, 6th and 9th of March. Ben Painter picked up picked up 3 separate game misconduct penalties on the night and has now passed the 10 penalty points. So under the totting up process, he's suspended for 2 games for the 24th and the 3rd February and the 3rd of March. Ryan Watt was assessed a match penalty for fighting and a second match penalty for physically engaging with a spectator. The player is suspended for 6 games for fighting and 10 games for engaging with a spectator. He has also reached 10 and 15 penalty points, so under the totting up rules, he's suspended for an additional 5 games, bringing the total suspension to 21.
He will have forgotten how to skate.
Yeah. Bracknell Bees have now passed 50 penalty points for the season, so head coach Doug Shepherd is suspended for 2 games. And Peterborough's equipment manager has been suspended for 1 game for his game misconduct penalty awarded in the incident. And he misses the Phantoms game on February 23rd. He missed the game on the 23rd because of it.
Free for all.
Ouch! Actually, there is online somewhere a video clip of part of the end of the fighting in this particular incident. It's like, yikes! I'm glad I wasn't videographer for that one.
I'm glad I wasn't Jill Gillingham at the end of that one, wasn't it? Was it fancy filling out that sheet? Send off.
I've done many a role, and there are times when I am so glad. I mean, I've heard tales of woe from friends elsewhere who've done game sheets for different levels, be it everything from juniors all the way up to top flight. And you hear of some of the games, and he said the penalties like 50-odd minutes in the final minute, 60-odd minutes in the final minute. But 198 penalty minutes. Answers on a postcard. Who was the poor referee?
I'm just thinking, what would have happened if it gone into overtime? Penalties, there wouldn't be nobody left to take the penalties.
I have seen a game. I've got it somewhere on a video. Tulsa Oilers against Wichita Thunder. And it wasn't even at the end. It was towards the end of the first period. A bench clearance kicks off. And at the end of they come back on to play the second period. And both teams have got enough for 2 lines at this point. They started off with full 3 lines and plus. And one of the teams ends up with 4 skaters. So it doesn't actually have 2 lines. So they're basically rolling players. So, 9 out skaters to finish the match. And the bench clearance was just hilarious to watch because one of the players involved in this ruck was a former Hull Thunder player. And we all knew him, and he was bonkers. We loved him to bits.
Sounds like it, yeah.
If anyone remembers the days of Hull Thunder and Rob McCaig, all I have to say is the Fife helmet incident, and you'll know exactly what bit I'm chuckling about when I said about Rob being a character. Oh dear. But yes, hockey is hockey, but sometimes though things go a bit too far, and taking it to the levels where we're now getting games with 198 penalty minutes just boggles the mind completely. And it's like, where does some of them come from? I don't know. I just hope we don't have any of those towards the end of the year, please.
Yeah. I've got enough space on the scoreboard.
No, I don't think we have. No. Oh, Jen got hit with one, and I got hit with one on the head, and the person behind threw it back. Yeah, no, you're supposed to keep them as a badge of honour if you've been hit by a puck. You get them signed by the person that hit you with it. That's the usual routine.
Yeah.
I
used to throw them back.
I mean, I've thrown quite a few back in my time, but usually it's when the little kids are around. In fact, actually, when I was in Altrincham at the weekend, there was one caught in the net behind the goal, and there was a kid trying to get it down, so I was able to reach up and flick it out and pass him the puck. He's like, "Oh, thank you." I know what young kids are like when they get a puck. Oh, yeah, it's like a medal being at a hockey match. Well, final sort of 5-10 minutes or so. We've got an interesting weekend. I mean, the ladies up in Solway this weekend. Yes. It's going to be a good one for them, because of course they've good 50% of the squad's brand new. and they're rebuilding and getting better.
They're playing more of a team now. The last time we watched them,
Yeah.
we will be watching them again during the summer, and got some great hockey coming up as well.
I know I was chatting with Amanda Williams at the weekend, and she was really pleased with the way things are going. So
yeah, she's in heavy training at the moment, isn't she?
Yeah, fingers crossed that developments are going well for the women for that weekend. And of course, the big one, we want you, as many of you, down to from the Halton area, in the northwest area, or even further afield. There's plenty of hockey throughout the country, but we want as many of you there at Planet Ice Widnes this Sunday, 3rd of March. YKK Widnes Wild against the Hull Jets.
Yeah. It's just plugged to Widnes Wild women match. There's a girl, a lady we know. Her name's Pauline Hayward.
Oh yes, Pauline.
She's over 60.
Yeah,
and she's playing ice hockey.
And she doesn't look out of place.
No. So if there's any of you women out there that are thinking, "Oh, I'm too old for it," she only started skating about 5 years ago, and that's total skating. She's been on the classification to learn to skate, which she's done and she's gone through, and she's quite a good figure skater now, not championship level, but she took up the ice hockey as well, and she's doing very well, and she's a member of the Wild women's team.
Yes, and I say this now, she doesn't look out of place with the girls on that squad, and it's they all go out and they give their all, and it is a pleasure to watch and see it, and like I say, we've got juniors action in D-side as well on Saturday, but I'm pushing this. Come on, we want we need that extra person in the stands this weekend. Get yourselves down. It's going to be a really, really good game. And I'm not just bigging it up because, well, Hull's like a second team to me because of my connections. But it is effectively it's a pseudo top of the table clash. It's that one where you need to get that extra bit of momentum because it's going to be a tough game, really tough game, because Hull are used to big ice, we're used to slightly smaller ice, but Hull will come out skating hard and fast. Yeah.
Let's hope we can wind them down a bit. Just let them dash about, keep us clean sheets, and then knock a few in ourselves.
So yes, it's going to be a tricky one, and in terms of the I'm going to have to say this, in terms of the way that the YKK Wilds games have been this year, I am absolutely stunned by our statistic of 11 home wins, 12 away wins, 1 home overtime win, 1 home loss, and 3 away losses.
Yeah, and only 2 teams have beaten us.
Yeah, and they're the 2 teams underneath us in the league.
Yeah, so no shame there.
No shame at all. It is going to be a cracking weekend wherever you are in the country, wherever you are in the world. In fact, if there's hockey in the area, take it in. It's worth it. I mean, there's an awful lot of stuff going on within the National Hockey League. Of course, we've got Elite League games. There's D1 games across the country, all the way down to juniors. And I can put my hand on my heart and say it is a pleasure going down and giving them a hand with the junior games and seeing those kids going out there and playing the way they do. And I can see some really good talent coming through from the junior games, and particularly more so with I'm bigging it for the Wild Academy under 13s, is because a number of our players aren't actually just miss out on their age for being in the under 9s. They're just a little bit too old,
which makes them a little bit too young.
So they would be playing under 11s, but the way in which the recruitment is at the moment and the player ages, we don't have an under 11s team. So actually their next level is 13s. Yeah. And it's not unusual for players who play 13s to play up at 15s as well, but we've effectively got 10-year-olds playing under 13s without an under 11s team, or 9 pluses playing up with the 13s. And some of them, I'm going to say it, Sandy Veyeshi, she goes out and gives her all. She's only little, but she doesn't stop. Her and her brother go out and it's just a pleasure to watch. Yeah.
Pocket rocket.
They are. They're all little pocket rockets, every single one of them. But, we're about out of time.
Yeah.
What's up?
I just want to say all the best to my wife. She's having an operation Thursday
Oh, yes.
on her shoulder. It's a supraspinatus muscle she's got to have reconnected. Hope it goes all way. And the actual injury she occurred on hockey basics. So there you go. There's one up in our family. Got an injury from hockey.
Hockey chick, hockey injury. You know, all the best.
All the best, my love.
All the best. Yeah, we wish you all the best, and hope recovery is swift, quick.
Yeah.
And see you very, very soon. I think the last to play out, we have a little bit of Aerosmith and a song that features actually in the film Miracle. And if you know of Miracle and what it's all connected to, it's about the Americans at the Lake Placid Olympics and the Soviet team, about the dominance of the Soviets and the way in which America and Herb Brooks rewrote the way in which they coached their international hockey team, their national team. And it's very, very good. It's a very good film. And Dream On is the song that's played at the end. And it is actually quite an emotional film. So we've got things to look forward to. And I think it's a fitting way to go into this coming weekend with playing Hull. So wherever you are in the country, take care. Enjoy your hockey. Thanks, Andy.
Yep, thank you, Colin, and thank you all. God bless you all, and see you on Sunday.
And from me, I'm back on Thursday at 9. But till then, take care. Enjoy Dream On and Aerosmith. Till next week. Ta-ra.